Hi everybody, and welcome to Lost Genre Reddit Stories. On this video, I've got a post from Relationship Advice with an update, one from Am I the A-hole and one from Today I Effed Up. So if you want to get started with the stories, then just use the timestamps below the video. Now I would like to thank all of you that support me as YouTube members, Twitch subscribers, and even donating on the live streams. And on this point, I would like to welcome Legend of Cabur and Carlota Hall as the newest YouTube members. Thanks so much for your support, it really means a lot to me. And if this is the first time watching one of my videos and you like it, then consider subscribing to the channel and joining us on Discord. Now let's get started with today's stories. This post is from the subreddit Relationship Advice, and it's from user ThrowArray1709. My daughter's 3 female, biodad 32 male is concerned that I'm 24 male, not a fit parent for her. Recently, my daughter's biological father, 32 male, connected with me to express his concerns about the environment I was exposing his daughter to. For some background info, my sister got pregnant pretty young, 23. She was older than me at the time. Around that time, she had been in a casual relationship, it was purely sex, with someone from her workplace. So it was fairly obvious to know who the father was. Long story short, he wanted nothing to do with her or her baby. She considered a termination. My family was supportive of any decision she made, but in the end, she decided that she'd go through with the pregnancy. My daughter, 3 female, almost 4, came into my care early on. My sister died a little over 3 years ago, right around the time she had her baby. She had me down as the person she wanted to care for her daughter after her passing. Obviously, we didn't expect it to happen so soon. Her death was sudden and it hit my entire family pretty hard. My mother and my older brother, 30 male at the time, now 33, offered to take care of her since I was still young. But I wanted to respect my sister's wishes. She wanted me to take care of her, so that's what I was going to do. I tried to put a pause on my love life. Naturally, I've been wary about allowing people into my daughter's life, especially since I don't want her to feel like she's losing more people. She already lost her mom, which was hard enough. Still, I met a great guy, 25 male, about 2.5 years ago, and we're engaged now. He's an amazing co-parent and boyfriend/fiance. She's gotten into the habit of calling him dad now. After asking him if she could, it was honestly one of the most adorable things she's ever done. Just recently, her biological father reached out after hearing of this, and he had some strong opinions about how his daughter was being raised and the environment she was being raised in. He doesn't believe that I am a fit parent for her solely because I'm bisexual and I apparently chose to marry a man instead of a woman. He doesn't believe it'll be a healthy environment for my daughter. I may not be her biological father, but I have been there for her from the start, unlike him. And so has my fiance. He's been in her life ever since she was 1. She doesn't even know a life without him. I'm not even sure he should get a say in any of this. Unlike my sexual or romantic preferences, he chose not to be a part of her life. Still, he believes she needs a strong male role model in her life along with a female one. She doesn't need to be confused by having 2 dads, as he put it, and he suddenly wants to be in her life. I don't know if I want someone like that in my daughter's life. He's not reliable, and when things get tough, it's safe to say he'll most likely up and leave. My fiance doesn't trust him at all, but he's always been protective of our daughter. Nonetheless, I don't know what I should do about him. On the one hand, I don't want someone like him in her life, but I also don't want her to feel like she missed out on knowing her father because of me. Well, OP, the first thing I would do is check if he gave up his parental rights. If he did, then he doesn't get a say. Simple. If he didn't, then maybe he has a case for shared custody. However, the fact that he hasn't been in her life for 3.5 years might play strongly against him. Now, regarding your daughter, I think bringing him in the picture would add more confusion to the mix, if she's confused at all, which I don't think she is. However, you are right. If at any moment she would like to meet him, then she should be able to. However, she's not in an age where she can make that decision. Maybe this is something you should start talking to her about if she ever asks any question about who her bio dad is. And then, when she's old enough, and you be able to assess this, you allow her to make the decision if she wants to reach out or not. He's the one that decided to leave and wanted nothing to do with her. So now the decision to let him back in is not on him, it's on her. And in the meantime, since she is your daughter, you get to make that decision. What do you guys think about this situation? Let me know in the comment section what you would do if you were in OP's shoes, and let's move on with the community comments to see what kind of advice they gave OP. Sanguinare says, there's no mention made of the legal aspects. You need to make sure you're covered there as well. You're probably down as the guardian as per your sister's wishes. Is that enough? The biological father didn't give a crap before, but is that enough to prevent him raising a legal challenge to whatever the status quo is now? Get some legal advice if you have any doubts or uncertainties here. Get those sorted quickly. Stability in your daughter's life is something to protect, and fiercely. If you have every legal protection in place already, that's great. Bases are covered. Boots X says, as a person with a 3-year-old, they are not confused at all with the people in their lives that love them. That is their normal, and kids have a huge capacity to understand that's just the way things are. I have a good friend whose dad bailed when she was a baby, and her whole life it was normal that her dad was just someone she got a Christmas card from. She didn't miss having a dad, she just knew that was normal for her, and she didn't feel any kind of way about it. It sure helped that her single mom was an absolute rock star. My point is, the things that confuse my daughter are why she can't have pizza for breakfast every day, and that when she wakes up from a nap, it's not tomorrow yet. She's not confused at all about why her aunt had a wife instead of a husband. OP responds, I agree. My daughter has never been confused as to why she has 2 dads, and is honestly just excited for our wedding, whenever that will be, and that her dad is going to be with us forever, as she put it. Iron Templar 22 says, ask him for back child support. I'm assuming he didn't pay any. OP's edit. I am her legal parent, and my husband-to-be also recently went through with adopting her. We have all our papers in order and all that. Biodad was never listed on the birth certificate, nor has he ever paid any amount of child support. Okay, well, the community advice seems pretty solid, and apparently OP has all the legal matters in hand properly, so there shouldn't be a problem. Now, how about we move on with the update to see what happened after this? It's been a couple of days since I, 24 male, posted the original post about the situation with my daughter's, 3 female, biological father and his issues with my fiance, 25 male. My fiance and I both have our legal bases covered. I had full custody before he recently went through with adopting her as well. She's our daughter now. Sperm donor has never legally been recognized as her biological father, and he never took any initiative until now, even if his motives are coming from the wrong place. He was aware of her birth, and my sister had given him the opportunity to step up, although being absent during the pregnancy. He didn't show up to the birth or make any effort to contact my sister or help her out despite working in the same place. He was also aware the following month when she died and did nothing about that either. He's only inserting himself now because of his concern over his daughter being raised by 2 men. A few days after the initial post, we had a little disturbance in the middle of the night. I had to put the little one to sleep, and fiance and I were going to sleep when we heard a loud bang on the front door. It was startling to say the least. My fiance went to check it out and told me to stay upstairs. I followed him shortly when the shouting began. Biodad was at the door, clearly drunk. He was pointing a broken bottle at my fiance as he cursed and shouted slurs at him. This obviously woke my daughter up. She came downstairs to see what was going on. I took her back upstairs while fiance tried to get him to back off. He can be an intimidating guy when he wants to be. After some time, he somehow got him to leave while I tried to calm little one down. She was tired, so I managed to get her to sleep before checking in with fiance. He had a cut on his hand, but the first thing he asked me was if I was okay. Seriously, don't know what I did to deserve him. We're still pretty shaken up from the entire thing and have been planning on getting more security cameras around the house. Our daughter hasn't been sleeping well lately. She'll only sleep if one of us or both of us are with her. Seeing a strange man threaten her dad really did a number on her, and I feel incredibly guilty she had to see that. We've been trying to tell her that it's alright and keep her occupied in the mornings, but her fears seem to come back at night again and again, which is completely understandable. I never imagined things would get violent, especially going as far as to threaten my partner. I'm just glad he was okay. Still a scary situation nonetheless. Well, OP, that is certainly scary and did not help this man's case at all. The good thing is that you and your fiance were able to protect your daughter and are okay, except for that cut in the hand, which of course sucks. I would say that now you need to take action and actually press charges against this man. I would consult with a lawyer what kind of charges you can press against him. Maybe assault, he did cut your fiance's hand, and if you have any proof, of course that would help. But the good thing is that you guys are okay, and now you need to work on calming your daughter down and getting back to normal. All the best, OP, and congratulations on your upcoming wedding. As for us, we are now going to move on to the next post. This post is from the subreddit Am I the A-hole, and it's from user Brave Field. Am I the a-hole for not telling him dinner is ready? My husband has an obsession with TikTok. He's 40 by the way, not 14. He takes his phone to the bathroom and will spend ages just mindlessly scrolling. We have 2 young kids and I think he just does it for some peace. But it means I'm constantly having to go and knock on the door. Are you okay? Are you going to be long? Will you come and help with the tiny humans? It's a PETA. I was making a full roast dinner and saw him heading off upstairs. I said it'll be ready in 20 minutes, don't be long. Set the table, finished cooking, plated up, got the kids to the table and just thought, I'm not going to seek him, this is ridiculous. I 100% wanted to see how long it would take him to come out on his own. 2 hours and 10 minutes. In that time, we had finished the meal. I had cleaned the kitchen and the floor, done the dishes, and done a load of laundry, and the kids were halfway through a film. He came down and yelled at me that I should have told him the meal was ready. I told him I'm not his mother and it's not my job to go and seek him. He stormed out saying he's not eating his meal now as roast dinners are rubbish, heated in the microwave, and this is all my fault and I am the a-hole. Wow, OP, your husband's an idiot. First of all, he shouldn't be raising his voice to you for him being late. He shouldn't be raising his voice at all. Second, and I'm curious about this, how does his butt or legs not fall asleep sitting for 2 hours and 10 minutes on the toilet? As for the judgment, no OP, you are not the a-hole. He's 40 years old and hooked on a cell phone. Being late to dinner is on him. He's an adult. I mean, physically. What do you guys think on this one? Let me know your judgment in the comments and let's move on with the community judgment. Pushkin Mage says, not the a-hole. Are you sure he's not 14? Storming out because you didn't tell him the dinner you made was ready after you told him it would be 20 minutes is something a 14-year-old would do. A 40-year-old should apologize for taking so long and thank you for making dinner, feeding his kids, and cleaning up. You two need to have a long talk about this. Gleaming the Cubicle says, not the a-hole. Quote, we have 2 young kids. End quote. No, you have 2 young kids and 1 old one. There is only 1 adult in this house. Electric Moccasin says, not the a-hole. Your husband's behavior screams social media addiction, specifically TikTok. If he's not listening to you, ducking out on parental responsibilities and losing track of 2 hours of his time, then it may be worth really sitting down and discussing this. Well, the community absolutely agrees that OP is not the a-hole and that she should definitely talk with the husband about this behavior. So now we move on to the next post. This post is from the subreddit Today I Effed Up and it's from user Magoner. Today I effed up by thinking I had the right to pee in peace. This happened last night and I'm still laughing my butt off. Debated making an alternative account to post this, but you know, sometimes you just gotta own up to the F up. So there I, 20 female, was making dinner for my family. I don't cook super often, but sometimes when I'm stressed, it's nice to just take a break from what I'm doing and make some tasty pasta. And it's finals season, so oh boy, I've definitely been stressed. I had just finished all the prep work and I decided to take a quick pre-break before starting on the actual timed cooking. I went to the bathroom, closed the door, and sat down on the toilet. The pee stream begins, and that's when I finally glance down at the floor and see a chunky effing spider charging directly towards my foot. I'm sure some people would stay calm and composed in this situation, but my arachnophobic butt went full panic mode. I jumped straight up off the toilet as chaos descended in the bathroom. And by chaos, I mean my pee. Yep. My fight or flight instinct did not care that I was a grown-a woman with dignity. But even after I stood up, this damned spider wouldn't leave me alone and kept charging. So there I was, screaming my butt off and hopping all over the bathroom to escape Mr. Leggy Boy. Pee still going everywhere, dogs barking, the whole rodeo. When I finally compose myself for a split second, I grab a can of air freshener, the only blunt object in my reach, and smack that bitch as hard as I can, followed by the obligatory double tap just to be safe. All of this happened in a span of probably 10 to 15 seconds, and when it was over, I was left only with a shameful mess and the absurdity of it all. In the time I should have spent continuing to make dinner, I had to wipe my own pee off my goddamn bathroom floor, take a shower, and calm myself down from what almost became a panic attack. But in retrospect, I find the whole situation effing hilarious, and I hope some of y'all can also take some enjoyment from my pain. OP, that must have sucked. I mean, apart from all the pee, yeah, that's the worst part, of course, having to clean the floor, wash your clothes, take a shower, all that stuff. That poor spider must have been so scared. I mean, just watching you hop around throwing pee all over the place. Poor spider, man. All joking aside, having arachnophobia must not be a joke at all, considering how common spiders are. Now, OP, I'm just left with one final question. Who ended up making the pasta? And it's that time that we've reached the end of the video. I hope you enjoyed today's stories. I certainly did reading them to you. So if you did, then go ahead and give the video a like, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and become a member of our Discord community that just keeps growing, and it is fantastic. And like I said in the beginning of the video, all of the relevant links are in the video description below, so be sure to check them out. And finally, I'd like to thank you all for taking the time to watch this video. It really does mean a lot to me that you guys enjoy this content, so thank you once again. And having said all that, I will see you guys in the next video.